Okay, we're back with turn 68 of Hell in the Hedgerows. What are we looking at? Well, there's a Piet team down here, which hopefully we're going to kill this time. I say it's a Piet team. It's like one single Tommy with a Piet. He's trying to shoot the Panther at the bum. We're going to see if we can't murderize him. We've also got these Tommies that we're pushing this way, coming up over the reverse slope there. They've taken a casualty down here and they're legging it, and we'll see if we can't pick a few more of them off. Down here, I don't think we're going anywhere. We're just going to sit tight for the time being. We have got, there's definitely at least one Sherman up here and a Vickers, which is putting fire down there, and we can't do a lot about it. The mortar team is kind of relentlessly unable to quite see exactly where it needs to see to do anything, and the Panther down here is sitting hull down. It's in a pretty good position to eyeball this kind of area, but the optics are a bit knackered. There we are, and we'll see if it actually sees anything. Realistically, I should really drop at the end of this turn, drive that one back so that we can you know, avoid it getting shot. We'll just pop it out and expose it when we need to. That would be smart, wouldn't it? But anyway, we're just going to press get the wide angle back up so we can see these guys here. I'm going to press go and see who dies this time. That explosion there is this Panzerschreck team firing off Panzerschrecks, and oh, we've got spots coming up all over the place here. Really chunky firefight there. So this is probably Jen's troops here trying to suppress the house so the Piet guy can get up to Piet the ooh, we might have got a shot off there. Yeah, we're going to have a closer look at that. That's probably small arms fire hitting the gunning for the commander, sticking his head out of the old Panther there. No, that looked like a Piet. Yeah. Right, let's check this lot up here. What's been happening here? Got the firing squad shooting uphill again. It looks like those Tommies are, yeah, they pretty much spend the whole time pinned down until we somehow lose sight of them there. Okay. But what are we getting down here? Right, so we got those guys were there suppressing the building. These guys use an existing casualty. The same team is coming back. Any minute now they're going to start putting fire down on the house, probably. Yes, there we go. Our Piet guy down here is all kinds of suppressed. And a few more. That's a 2-inch mortar there. A few more spots down there. This is probably the old tank team. Yes, it is. With the Bren gun. Yeah, tank crewmen. Those guys are running away. It's the platoon sniper or company sniper. What do we get with the Panther here? It should be putting a few rounds in that direction. What was that? That looks like it was just small arms. Yeah, that's people trying to dome the tank commander there. And what's that? That is actually a Piet bomb from this guy here. See, Jen is like scrupulously picking up every kind of fallen item he can. This That should pop up in a second. Yeah, that's the crump of the Piat. Creepiest weird weapon ever. You know, everybody else has got rockets. What the Brits have, they've got a spring-loaded bomb launcher. It doesn't look like that penetrated. So small arms. Yeah, so it hit just there behind the mantlet. And we've got a little bit of damage to the optics and the radio there. That's mostly the shock. So, yeah. The Panther's now understandably a little upset. And there's another shot. What was that? Was that underneath there? I think it was. Underneath the gun mantlet. Yeah. It just doesn't have the penetration to get through. It doesn't matter so much about the angle with the Piat because it's a shaped charge warhead. But one of the things we might have a problem with here is that this Panther is reversing to put its frontal armour towards the Piat, which is great. Except it's now swung its back end out so that this Piat guy, who... Oh, actually, he's dead. Doesn't matter. But if he was still alive, he'd have a much better chance of, you know, hitting it in the engine, where we would be stuck. And because the turret is still rotated, the last thing we want is a Piat bomb to hit the side of the turret armor, which is much thinner than the front, because we've got all kinds of things in here that we don't want to be interfered with by a supersonic molten jet of copper, which is how the thing works. Like the crew, for example, or ammunition, or the gun breech. We want those things to stay as they are and not be, you know, melted. Let's check just when this guy got domed. Yeah, there we go. At least you don't have to worry about that so much anymore, except there's probably more Piats down here. Apart from that, that one is okay. This Panther has seen nothing, and no one's shot at it. Yep, it's just had a nice, quiet session in the field there. If we've got anything interesting happening in the village. That looks like more fire that's coming out from up here. It's just impacting on the bridge. Kind of on that line there, and all the trees. Well, Jen's either still area-frying this area, or he's trying to shoot up these pixel tripping down here. But I don't think we're getting any... there's nothing significant going on in the village. I don't think. Now we've got this kind of like knot of Tommies trapped in this corner here. Let's see if we can't get the Panther to put a HE round in there. We've also managed to recrew this flat wagon, but it looks like the actual gun has been knocked out. Well, we'll see what we can do with that though. We should have these guys here now, where Jen had a team here. There's one of them. Look. Let's see if we can't. Haven't solved that problem. Right, and then the overall picture, we've got some of the pixel stripping here are walking this way. So I still want to put an attack in on the crossing objective. I just want a toehold. That's all I want. Just like I just want a toehold in this one. It doesn't seem like we're going to get to a position here because of the way that Generals played the game. You know, we had that artillery at the start which slowed me down off the bat. He's got himself into a position where I'm realistically probably only engaging, what, call it a company on this side and a company in this kind of area. He's probably has another 2 companies further back, which he can just drip feed into the fight to keep it going and grind me down. As a guess. On top of the armour and things, which he probably also still has, you know, 5 or 6 Shermans, a Firefly or 2 and the Achilles, so plus whatever artillery he has left over. So, you know, we are expending a lot of effort doing not very much. In this area around the village, it's all about, you know, we only got into the village so that we could clear out the, or make safe the path along the river. Once we've run out of a sensible amount of village to deal with, because I'm pretty sure there aren't that many Tommies in here, and they haven't been putting much fire across. Then we got our next problem is back here, and these woods, which we can't really do very much about. That's where the problem's coming from. So you can kind of see how I'm expending effort and manpower on what would you call it? Kind of stepping stones to get where I want to be, rather than where I actually need to be, which is the objectives. Yeah, just, and then we have this added problem here that Jen is pushing up. Well, either probing or pushing up this way, which is just excellent. But hey ho. Where was that Piat team? That Piat team was in here. Let's. And we can't actually target. Oh, we can. Well, that makes no sense. What? You know, I love this game, but at the same time, it's so frustrating sometimes. These guys still, for some reason, can't see out of that building. Let's see if we can't get them in that one and see if they can see anything from there. No, still no. What a joke. Blind Panzerschreck teams. And let's do what we said, reverse you down there, out of the way. We are just kind of hanging back around here. I think that is probably the smartest thing to do. Purely because you just have smoke, don't you? Purely because what we're talking about. I don't have any backup for those guys, if that makes sense. They don't have any come on, there's a spot here. There we go. Nope. Nope. You guys are just gonna have to spot them yourselves. They don't have any backup. So, you know, we can go in here, grab a toehold, and then general counterattacks, and then we're back to square one. which we don't really want. So, how are we doing over here? Are we not going to change anything, will we? Right, those guys are securing off that field. We've got eyes on that. Let's move these guys up here. In fact, we can move these guys up here into this wheat field. Potentially here we've got a problem, which is that the crest of this hill here, we don't actually have eyes on it whatsoever. Potentially General could be getting troops around this way and they could be turning up behind us, but I'm not massively worried about that. Yep, this flat wagon has no ammo, which is awesome. Vehicles can't share ammo, otherwise I'll park it next to one of the other ones and they can cross-deck the ammo, but that ain't going to happen. So, congratulations, you guys are infantry as well. And, yeah, let's make sure we've got a team on that corner there. And on that one, just in case. And in a couple of turns, if we're all stabilised down this way, what we'll do is we'll move the 42 team there over. Somebody's shooting at them. We'll move this 42 team down here so it can hopefully get some enfilade on the Tommies down there, which you should be able to see. That would be useful. But in the meantime, it's just the waiting game, really. You guys don't even have a Panzerschreck. What's going on? Whatever. Yeah. Cool, that will about do. Yeah, let's send it back.